I'm Jane Wells with CEOs You Should Know, and you are?
I am Therese Tucker, CEO and founder of Blackline.
What is Blackline?
Blackline is an accounting software company based in Woodland Hills that very few people know about that helps companies of all sizes streamline their operations.
A female founder of a software company. How did that happen?
Well, it doesn't happen often enough, does it?
Mm-mm.
I had worked at a much larger company. It was not a great environment in terms of really wanting to promote women, and I didn't see much of a career there, and I decided to start my own. I believe that being an entrepreneur is sort of like the ultimate in American dream, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not just owning a house; it's being able to build something from the ground up. And one thing I did get out of my prior work experience at that large company was stock options. So I had the ability to actually go out and try and build something on my own, which was very helpful.
Why did you get into computer coding or programming?
In my sophomore year of college, I was at a little liberal arts school and I needed one more general ed course, and I'm lazy. So there was a Apple programming class next door to my prior general ed class, and I thought I'll take that. And I fell in love with programming. The ability to give computers a list of instructions and then they can do it for you in a split second, a million times, was amazing. And so I switched careers.
You said you had the entrepreneurial bug earlier. When did you discover this bug?
When I first worked as an electrical engineer out of college for Hughes Aircraft, I was following the career of Bill Gates, and that was back in his early days, really. And I thought, I can be the next Bill Gates. Now, it's not worked out terribly well in that regard, but I'm okay with the results.
Was there any part of you that thought, but I'm a woman. It's going to be hard to be the next Bill Gates?
No.
Where'd you get the money and how did you start?
Stock options from my previous employer funded the first 5-6 years of the company. And that was both tough but wonderful to retain control.
How did you find talent? Was it hard to find talent?
It's actually very interesting. In the early days of a company like that, you have to be good with hiring crazy people, okay? Because you have an environment that is unstructured, that one person might do 6 different jobs, where there's not, a path to get to the next step. And what you find is that there are very, very intelligent, very talented people out there that don't fit in regular corporate America. If you can manage them and you can deal with the crazy, you can get incredibly wonderful labor.
So what year did you start Blackline and how long did it take you to get it up and running?
Okay, I founded the company. I created the corporation in 2001, mid-year. At the end of 2004, I had about 8 or 9 employees. I had to let go of some of them. I was out of money, and I had pivoted market areas. I had started out by building wealth management software, and it was a tough market to break into. So I switched to the market that we're in now around streamlining accounting operations for companies. So at the end of 2004, beginning of 2005, it was a terrible low point. And from there, we sort of scratched out a living and made it work from there.
Was it difficult as an entrepreneur who had created something to pivot?
No, I think the ability to move nimbly is one of the qualities that most successful entrepreneurs have. The ability to acknowledge that what I'm doing here and now not only is not working, it's not going to work. Okay, what am I going to do differently? Throughout the entire history of Blackline, and frankly, throughout my entire career, I've had some incredible friends, incredible mentors that have saved me multiple times. Okay, during that low period, end of 2004, beginning of 2005, I was down to, I think, 4 employees. I was not taking a salary, and I would not have money for payroll. And so I would go to one or the other. I only did payroll once a month, because I would be up all night the night or two before worrying about how I was going to actually pay my employees. And I'd be waiting for checks from our customers and they wouldn't come. And so I'd go to one or the other of these gentlemen and say, can you loan me, $30,000 so that I can make my payroll? And one of them, Lee Reams, would say, oh, Tucker, when do you need it by? And I would look at my watch and I would say, by 11 a.m. And he'd go, oh my God, meet me at the bank in 15 minutes. It'd be about 10:30, okay? And so he'd meet me at his bank. He'd get a cashier's check. I would run over to my bank, deposit it, and start the cycle over the following month, okay? And having people that would be willing to, on a moment's notice, write you a check for $30,000 with absolutely no assurance of ever seeing it again, that's a pretty good friend. I'm still not convinced I've made it yet. Okay?
Oh, okay. How many employees?
About 850.
Yeah.
But we have a lot more to do. We've not gotten to the point where we can rest on the plateau yet.
But was
I have
there
mountains to climb.
was there a moment when you at least could sleep at night?
Thought I would survive. Probably when I got to start taking a salary again.
When was that?
That was around the end of 2005, 2006, and I got a salary of $30,000 a year. I don't think it even paid my mortgage at that point, but at least it was something, and the business could survive without me putting money into it. That's when I started to know that it was going to make it.
How did you get the pink hair?
On a dare.
Okay.
I had a couple of my marketing guys wanted me to do a really awful video. Older woman, scarf, suit, bun, blah, blah, blah. And I kept pushing back and saying, this is awful, this is boring. They kept saying, we need this to fit into these different programs. And finally, I got tired of arguing. It just popped out of my mouth. I said, fine, I'll do it. They said, oh, thank God. And I said, but I'm going to dye my hair pink. And they said, no, you're not. And I said, yes, I am, because I'm that mature. And then I realized that I had essentially painted myself into a corner and that I could either back down or go see what pink hair looked like. And that was 3.5 years ago. And when I did it, I absolutely fell in love with it. And it feels very natural now.
Did you have a Me Too moment, and has anything changed?
I lived in environments that were rampant with sexual harassment. Absolutely. I think many women our age did. Like most women at that time, we didn't say a whole lot. We put up with it, we dealt with it, we moved on, we tried to avoid it wherever we could. What I like about today's Me Too movement is that young women today don't feel the need to put up with it. And that's an important change. Have the environments changed? I think they're still lagging.
If you could do it all over again, Therese Tucker, last question, what would you have done differently?
Not a thing. I'm so happy.